Hello and welcome to this Sunday's edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. We have a wonderful show planned just for you. More after this break. It is the organ most central to your overall good health. It's responsible for pumping blood throughout your body, and it supplies oxygen while removing toxins and waste. I'm talking about the heart. And this month we are celebrating that under the theme, Love Your Heart, Eat Smart. Rosanna Pike, Advocacy Officer, Global Health Advocacy Project at the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, is here to tell us more.
Welcome to Get the Facts, the program that provides you with information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm Theodore Henry. We often say, eat until your heart's content. But for many of us, that phrase has taken on a whole new meaning with the unhealthy food choices we make every single day. Since February is Heart Month, we're focusing on how the food we eat impacts our heart health and much more. Joining us to share valuable insights is Rosanna Pike, Advocacy Officer for the Global Health Advocacy Project at the Heart Foundation of Jamaica. Welcome to the program, Ms. Pike.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Let's jump into getting some facts.
Sure.
So, there's a month for almost everything.
Right.
But there's a Heart Month. Why is that so important?
So Heart Month, as you introduced to our viewers earlier, it's recognized globally in February every year. And what happens is that it provides us an opportunity to increase the public's awareness of heart disease and their understanding of it. And of course, to remember those who lost their lives to heart disease. And lastly, but most importantly, it gives us that opportunity to show appreciation to that, central, most vital organ to life, right?
The heart. So, is heart disease a big deal in Jamaica?
Of course it is. The statistics all around show that, that it is a cause for concern because in Jamaica and the Caribbean, heart diseases account for 4 of 5 of the leading causes of death.
4 or 5?
4 out of 5.
So it is the leading cause?
Right.
Wow. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is now taking on a whole heavier meaning now.
It does.
If it's the leading cause, 4 out of 5, then help us get some facts here. What are the risk causes? Like what causes heart disease? Who is most at risk? That sort of thing. All
right, sure. So on one hand, you have those factors that are non-modifiable, and then those who are modifiable. So on the non-modifiable hand, you have your age. So persons who are 50 and older, they are more susceptible. Okay. And of course, your gender. Men are more likely to develop cardiovascular diseases or heart diseases than women can. And on the other end of the spectrum, of course, if you are an avid alcohol drinker, or if you smoke, those are risk factors. If you have an unhealthy diet that is, laden with ultra-processed products or foods high in fats, salt, and sugar, that is a risk factor. If you're overweight or obese, if you have high blood pressure and high cholesterol as well, those are risk factors because, of course, those two conditions, they affect the heart's ability to efficiently or effectively pump blood to other organs.
Is it a strain issue or it's because of the diet and the lack of
so it's buildup? Really both. So the high cholesterol, excess fat in the body, and it can lead to what you call atherosclerosis or a buildup of fat in the blood vessels. So of course, right. So when the heart is trying to pump blood through, there's a strain to get the blood through to supply the other organs, and then of course it leads to what you call the stroke and all those other heart diseases.
I love how you're connecting it to things that we're very familiar with. Everybody know about stroke and this, but we don't necessarily look at the pathway to it.
Right.
So I can't do anything about being a male, but I can do something about smoking.
Exactly.
Diet. Okay, so we're having Heart Month, and the theme, if I have it correct here, is Love Your Heart, Eat Smart.
Right.
All right, so tell me some more about the Heart Month.
All right, so Love Your Heart, Eat Smart, maintaining, healthy diet for a healthy heart. It's a spin-off that we created at the Heart Foundation of Jamaica to the American Heart Association's theme, which is show your heart some love. And what we want to do is just to implore Jamaicans. It's a call to action to say, hey, you know, prioritize heart health by making more informed or healthier dietary choices and take proactive steps to maintain a healthy heart, right? So that's really what we're trying to do with that theme.
It just hit me that you guys will have Valentine's Day as well, so that'll
yes.
that'll have a whole different meaning there. All right, so here's one for you. Many people believe that, okay, I do 10,000 steps. I go to the gym. Not to cut down going to the gym, but because I do these things, I can eat whatever I want.
Oh, I like that.
Is that true?
I like that you're touching on this, because there is this popular quote that says you can't out-train a bad diet or you can't outrun a bad diet. And let me try to break it down as simple as possible for our viewers. So, I mean, those of you who did chemistry, you know that a chemical equation has to be balanced. One side can't be greater than the other, or a seesaw. If, you know, what we need to recognize that weight management is fundamentally about balancing the amount of calories that you're consuming or eating with the amount of calories that you are expending or burning. So if it's a case that you're eating more than you burn, you're going to gain weight regardless of how much exercise you're doing or how strict your exercise regimen is.
So hold on. That adage that I'm hearing around the place these days is that weight loss happens in the kitchen. Muscle building happens in the gym. Okay.
Right, so it is a balance thing. And I like to add to it to say input equal output. So what you put in your body is what your body is going to put out. So guess what? If you feed your body poorly, then ultimately those, you know, if you're feeding it with those ultra-processed, you know, products, you know, fast foods and all of that, it's going to have those detrimental impacts on your health. And what's going to happen? Your body's going to perform poorly. So we want to keep that in mind.
Balance the equation, exercise,
and diet, right.
All right, we're going to go to a break, but please stay with us because we'll be right back. We're dealing with matters of the heart.
Know your numbers and control the keys to a healthier heart. Know the numbers for your blood pressure, cholesterol level, blood glucose level, and your weight and body mass index. Find out the risks they represent and what you need to do to stay healthy. Talk to your doctor and start making healthy lifestyle choices to prevent a heart attack or stroke.
Welcome back to Get the Facts. We are discussing Heart Month and, more importantly, heart health with Rosanna Pike, Advocacy Officer for the Global Health Advocacy Project at the Heart Foundation of Jamaica. Lady Pike, we've been talking about ultra-processed foods, right? Another adage that I keep hearing about the place these days, especially in the health-conscious circles, are eat real food. So let's get the facts and not generalize anymore.
All right.
What do you consider ultra-processed foods?
So ultra-processed foods, just think of it that they are foods that have been altered from their natural state. So in a sense, they go through some processing, some procedure to change it from its natural state or raw state to what it is now. So it has a whole lot of additives, preservatives, and all of that. So for example, you know, your canned meats, those are maybe considered as ultra-processed because, of course, you get it from the animal and then it goes through some processing state within a factory, so some things are added and some things are taken out and then put in a container or packaging for the shelf, right? So those are ultra processed foods. So you can peas, you can beans, you know, those sweet and salty snacks like your chips and your biscuits or your cookies, those are considered ultra processed products as well. I mean, even things sometimes as your cheese, you know, can be ultra processed. So we have to be mindful of those.
And real food then would be?
Real food, I mean, if you have your own chicken coop, those chicken that you know that are farm raised, you know that are organic, those are real. I mean, the fruits and vegetables that you are able to pick, right, you know, reap from the soil, you have grown provisions, those are natural foods. So they have not gone through any form of processing.
And you're saying we need more of that in our diet?
We need more of that in our diet because right now the Jamaican diet, studies have shown it that we have deviated from eating how our forefathers taught us to. And I mean, We have to say with the transition in, the economy, trade, and then of course people find it hard to maintain a healthy lifestyle because you go to work, work your 9 to 5, sit in the traffic to come home and say, hey, the time to prepare a healthy meal with, raw products. It can be challenging, but we still need to make the effort to do that.
So convenience is one thing. That's where we get the snacks and the canned stuff. But what about price as well? A lot of people might say, I can't afford to eat healthy.
That is one of the biggest concerns we hear when we go out there and we're interacting with the general public. And of course, we can't deny that. With food security, you have to look at affordability, accessibility, and availability, but at the same time, make do with what you have, because even if what you can afford are the canned or packaged products, you can actually turn them into something a bit more heart healthy. So if I may, I can give some example. If you have your canned peas and beans, you want to make your rice and peas, open the can, pour the beans in a strainer under your sink, your running water, and you strain it, because what you're doing, you're minimizing, all those preservatives or additives.
The fluid.
Right, the fluid. And then, you can't afford the whole wheat flour. You have your white flour. Turn your hand, make fashion. Grate out your carrot, some shredded coconut, or even your oatmeal. Some of this might sound new to persons, but don't knock it till you try it. And what you're doing there is that you're enriching the processed white flour and adding nutrients that might have been lost during the processing.
Got it.
Right.
Got it. Oh, wow. I think we might need a program just on that one. But, okay, talk to me about some of the key nutrients that support and enhance heart health.
All right, sure. So a heart-healthy meal plan starts with, of course, as we said, your raw food. So eat more of your fruits and your vegetables. So your dark green leafy vegetables, so your callaloo, your spinach if you can afford, your broccoli, your cabbage, your fruits. I don't have to name them because in Jamaica we have them in abundance. But moderation is key, because people like to say, oh, it's fruits I can eat a whole lot. But remember, they have naturally occurring sugars. It's sugar nonetheless. And if the body cannot metabolize or use up all of it, it's going to store the excess as fat. Your protein-rich foods are good, so your food from animals, so your egg, your low-fat dairy like your milk and your cheese, your chicken breast, your turkey, your lean beef, those are good as well. And your fish that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids like your salmon, your tuna, your trout. You can have your sardines as well. So those are some of the key nutrients and foods that you can have.
You didn't say it, but I know you mean it. We should read labels, don't we?
Yes, we should. Especially when it comes to those ultra-processed products. And the rule of thumb, when you get to the nutrition facts panel that tells you how much calories, servings, etc., when you see saturated fats, cholesterol, sugar, all of those, sodium, you look for smaller numbers. And the rule of thumb is 5% or less is low, which is good. 20% or more is high. You want the bigger numbers for the fiber, the protein, the vitamins, and the minerals. When it comes to all the nutrients of concern, go for the smaller figure.
Got it. We're in the tail end of this interview. Let's talk about screening.
Sure.
Knowing your risk. So we know the unchangeable risk factors.
That's right.
And then you have the lifestyle risk factors. But screening, what role does that play in?
So screening actually provides that framework of where you stand, like gives you a picture of, where you stand. So there are 4 health numbers we always implore Jamaicans to know. When we hear, we say, oh, know your numbers. So your body mass index, your blood pressure, your blood cholesterol, and your blood sugar levels. And once you know all 4 numbers, you kind of have an idea of where your health stands. And your doctor or your medical care provider can work with you to create a plan to meet your goals or where you need to be. Right, so remember those 4 health numbers, and we implore Jamaicans to do that at least twice for the year. I would say every quarter you try to do it, but at least 2 times for the year, so you actually know. And once you know those, we can say, all right, something is off with this one, then there might be a condition.
And let me take a stab in the dark here. The older you get is the more attention you should pay to
your numbers. Exactly.
All right. So the last 10 seconds. Heart Month. What do you guys have planned?
All right. So at the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, remember we are a one-stop shop. So check out our social media pages to see if we'll be at a plaza close to you that you can come, take advantage of our screening special so you can get information on how to eat right while living actively. And of course, we have a medical symposium for our medical professionals and students on the 26th of February at 5 p.m.
At 5 p.m. And all of this is coming together in the month of February to help you, to help me make healthier life choices as individuals for the quality of life and length of life as well. This has been Get the Facts. So our guest was Rosanna Pike, Advocacy Officer for the Global Health Advocacy Project at the Heart Foundation of Jamaica. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm Theodore Henry. Take care.
Beautiful music is the art of the prophets that can calm the agitations of the soul. It is one of the most magnificent and delightful presents God has given us. Yes, music is that powerful, and a reminder that we should be careful of what we listen to and we give ourselves over to. Loathing, listen to music that calms you. Longing, let the music fill you. Lacking, let the music speak for you. And remember, you are the music while the music lasts.
The Ministry of National Security presents Cyber Smart Conference 2025, February 11 to 12 from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the AC Marriott Hotel under the theme Stay Safe in Cyberspace. Join leading experts and professionals to advance cybersecurity practices and build a safer cyberspace for all. Gain the knowledge and tools to address emerging threats in the digital world. To register and for more details, visit mns.gov.jm. That's the Cyber Smart Conference 2025, February 11 to 12 at the AC Marriott Hotel. See you there!
It's been said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That step for 3 young boys turned serving members of the country's security forces was an extra push with academic support from the Poor Relief Department in St. Mary. In the case of Damoy Douglas,
I was introduced by the then councillor for the Portmore Division, Mr. Fitzgerald, who I met through a personal friend. And from that day, my life changed for the better. Through support from the Poor Relief Department was one less thing to worry about. My life was marred by worries from what to eat, iron clothes, to get water to bathe, funds to go to school. But thankfully, the Poor Relief Department took away that worry from me. So I was able to go to school for the most part and focus.
he attended the St. Mary High School where he excelled academically, securing 8 CSEC and 10 CAPE subjects before completing his undergraduate and then later.
In 2022, I was fortunate enough to be awarded the Chevening Scholarship. So I went to the UK to study for a year, which I completed a Master of Science degree in Intelligence, Security and Disaster Management. And after coming back to this year, July, I was awarded the Governor General Achievement Award for the Parish of St. James for the 25 to 35 category. So my life has been one of hard work, dedication and resilience. And the Poor Relief Department laid the groundwork for that. You know, as I said, I didn't have to worry about going to school, but I know the money will be there. Maybe late sometime, I will cry sometime, but it will come, you know. So I had that faith in that.
The department was the same source of light for JDF Lance Corporal Errol Johnson, whose attempts to help his mother from a tender age saw them losing their home, but not their hope.
I was benefited from the school appliances stuff because most of my things would have got burned out during the fire. And my mother would have been signed up and received a house, right, which she gained in 2013. She still have it now.
He's now a fighter with a tune of praise.
Being through this rough situation and being successful and through the Poor Relief Department, I want to shout out a big thank you to all who support me and motivate me. Ms. Anne-Marie McBean, Ms. Sylvia Smith, and all other designated persons sitting in that department. I want to say thank you all. I'm very much appreciated. And now I am a soldier fighting for my country, and I will protect all of you guys.
But not many were ready for the double blessing that rescued two brothers, now policemen, from humble beginnings. Constable Siobhan Fife saw how the relief assisted his ailing mother and he and his siblings. From medication to academic support, including exam fees, their family was never alone.
The Poor Relief Foundation really helped me. They were there for me, for my mother also, throughout her sickness. They were there to help her with medication, food, any little thing that she needed, they were there. So I am very grateful for such. I'm very grateful. I don't think if they weren't there for me, I would be here right now.
They all agree that while homes are a feature of the Poor Relief, so too is academic support and much more. Hence their hope more Jamaicans will give more to the poor well beyond World Homeless Day on October 10.
We continue our celebration of Reggae Month with a look at the musical journey of some of its players. Let's now sing along with the sensational vocalist Mortimer.
For the love of reggae music and music overall, your love struck me down lightning, thunder in my soul, baby. My heart beats for you only. Every word is true, I'm in love with you.
Mortimer seems an unusual name, but it is indeed his given name. Like reggae, the alluring singer was bred in the city of Kingston. Mortimer admits to being what he calls an indoor child who wasn't allowed to see much of the city, an act he quickly remedied once he got older. What he experienced helped to shape the musician he is today.
I listened to a lot of music outside of what was allowed in my household too. A lot of soul music, a lot of reggae music, a lot of pop as well. And yeah, like all of them, I think, influenced the sound of my music in one way, shape or the other. Plus the things that I have, just my environment overall and my observation, my perspective, all of these things have shaped my music now and the music that I sing now.
Listening to the melodic words of the love-struck artist makes you wonder about his pen-to-paper process.
My process involves a lot of sinking within myself, a lot of letting go of a lot of things within myself too, to give myself the space to kind of be honest, the most honest I can be when I'm writing. It's a very immersive process for me, I hate to be bothered in those times.
Oh, brother man, you can stop for a breath, but don't you quit.
From an artistic family, his career could have gone no other way.
My mother used to sing, and my father writes as well. And I grew up in an artistic household overall. My father is a painter, and I too, I dabble in art as well.
Still, his path took his parents by surprise.
For the love of reggae music, I have put myself in a position to be forsaken by family.
The church boy who wanted to be a reggae artist. So, how was that conversation?
I wish it was a conversation, but it wasn't, unfortunately. There was no conversation more than I would need to leave if this is the kind of lifestyle that I'm going to pick up. Music was the choice of a child who wanted to be his own man and not necessarily walk in daddy's footsteps.
When it's right, you will feel a fire. Nothing's wrong with having desire. Just be willing to pay what it requires.
Many artists play their music in the shadows and fade away when the light appears. But here we are with Mortimer. Besides his obvious talent, a collaboration with Protégé is credited with his fortune.
I definitely would say that song did a lot for like the visibility of my career. I went to rehearsal one evening. He told me he had somebody to meet me, you know what I mean, somebody for me to meet. And it was Protégé and Winter, James at the time. And, you know, they were like, yo, we've been listening to the stuff you've been making in Paris and, you know, your other music that you have come out as well. And we'd like to work with you. And from there, we developed a working relationship, you know, and we got into the music of things, and it was fantastic, very natural, very organic kind of situation. The first time I heard it, I was like, whoa, you know, and yeah, it was a joy and a privilege for me to sing that for sure.
Musical collaboration is often sought when trying to reach another audience. By his own admission, collaboration played a significant role in his career. But how does he feel about the coupling in general?
Collaboration is very important, I think. I have been caught in the past, you know, with feelings of, oh, well, yeah, it's my music and it's my music and I need to write it this particular way and it needs to have this particular bass line. And while all of that is good too, collaboration kind of helps you get out of yourself sometimes too, for the benefit of the music itself. It gives you a chance to see from somebody else's eyes, to hear from somebody else's ears, and to experience just another person's perspective overall. And all of that now combined together, you know, creates a work of art that is so multi-dimensional, you know what I mean, in thought, that you end up with a really solid product.
Given the opportunity, who would you like to collaborate with?
Bob, for sure. For sure.
It's possible that we could go vault diving, but it's also possible that opportunity won't happen. Who else?
Chronix is one. I'd love to collaborate with Burning Spear. I think he is a powerful force in reggae music.
There's a lot of talk about the state of music and who does reggae these days.
I don't subscribe to that notion that reggae music is dead or belong to anybody. But I will say though that the state of the music now it's a bittersweet situation for me, because there's good music being made. I definitely believe so, and I hear it all the time. Then there's music being made that's not so good for the brain, you know. But in the state of responsibility and perspective, I feel like there are aspects of the music that can be better. Good music is being made, you know what I mean? You have a lot of great artists out there that's making music that's moving the culture forward.
And we can say that Mortimer is one of them. The singer is set to release his debut album this year, and though not willing to say much about it, he was willing to let us know that the album is more of a note to himself.
Your vibe is like a jet to breeze you, make me feel all kinds of things. The things I like about you most are way beyond what eyes can see.
And with that, we've come to the end of today's show. To catch a repeat of this or any other, feel free to log on to our website, jis.gov.jm. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.